All right, welcome back, family. This is Payload Pat, and we're back with some more heat. Now, today we're going to be creating an answer file. And for those of you who do not know what an answer file is, it's what the bootable USB that we created last video is going to use to automatically create our local admin account. And soon as we load it up, it's going to automatically have all the information that we pretty much, provision. So any other installs that we may need with this same USB, it will be across the board the same. So it's going to be very useful in a production like environment, and this is pretty much one of the main uses I would recommend you doing a bootable USB as far as unattended install here. So let me stop talking and get right to it. So let's navigate to Google Chrome and let's type in Windows AFG. So let's go ahead and navigate here, and the link will be in the description. And if you guys haven't already, click that like button and that subscribe button. We're going to have a lot more content, whether it be IT support material, AWS stuff. I'm going to go over some Linux things as well. So I'm going to have a lot of different, videos that I'm sure is going to help a lot of you guys out there. So anyway, let's get to the answer file generator here that we have in front of us. So let's go ahead and click over here on desktop, and let's click Windows 10 UEFI. And here we go. So you can go ahead and put in notes and stuff here if you want. I wouldn't put anything for the location. You can, but as you see here, under the general settings, we have some product key information. Now, this is a generic Windows 10 Pro product key, and this is just going to be used so the install doesn't fail. Because without it, it's not going to, do a successful install. So you can always change that after the install is complete, and this will be good because every other PC that you may have that may already have like Windows 10 installed on there, and you're just trying to, reinstall Windows again, that will pretty much be, it won't be lost. There's a way that I can show you how to obtain that back, and you'll just need to put that product key, which is the digital license that you have on your current machine. So yeah, stay tuned for that. It's a PowerShell script that I have that I can show you how to quickly get that, so that won't be any problem here. So moving on, I'm going to do the computer name. So in this case, I'll go ahead and name it FL dash. This would be a good time to use your naming convention. So if you guys use like um, PC, or if you guys use it, any other like type of convention that you use, along with like numbers. That's how I do it here, my company now. So like this, but if you do that, it'll be on every single PC. So it wouldn't be very useful in that case. So I just leave it like this. When I add my PC to the directory, I'll go ahead and or domain. I'll go ahead and add that at that point at the same time. So I do that one reboot all at once. So nonetheless, let's go over to the regional settings, and I'm going to select English United States, and let's go ahead and English United States, and change the time zone. For me, it's going to be Eastern time, and my UI language, let me do English United States. Okay, so network location, I'm going to leave it at home. We can move along here, and all that looks good to me, and this all looks good to me, so I don't really recommend you changing that unless you need to. And here we go as far as the username. So since we're just doing a demo, I'll go ahead and name this pay load pat, and this is going to be a local admin, so this will be good. As far as if you need to access a PC that's locked out or something, you already have that embedded for you. So this part here is I wish they had another area where you can like confirm your password, but you can't. So I would highly recommend you like typing this in up here or something, and then copying it and pasting it just to make sure that it's spelled correctly. But I'm not going to show you the password that I'm going to use, so I'm just going to pause the vid, put in my password, and we can go ahead and move on. All right, so I went ahead and updated my password there. So that looks good. Um, the auto log on, I'm going to go ahead and disable that and turn that off, and everything else looks good to me. So that's how quickly it is that we can create a customized login here. So all we need to do now is go ahead and download that bad boy. So let me go ahead and download the file. As you see, I was messing around with this earlier, so let me go ahead and I can delete this one, and this will be the one that we use. So let me go ahead and rename this to there, and that should be fine. So let's go ahead and add this to our bootable USB drive that we created in the last video. So let me go ahead and type in this PC. Let me open that up. You're going to go down to the Windows 10 Pro, and let's go and install that. So let's go. We're just literally going to have to add this to the main directory. This is where it needs to be, so just keep that in mind. So just copy it and paste it, or just drag it into there, and you should be good for setting up that drive. So as easy as that, we have created a bootable USB unattended answer file there. And now all we need to do is, change the boot order. So our PC boots from the USB, and the PC will automatically, run everything that we need. And all we will be doing is, after the install is complete, we're just gonna pretty much log in with that username, which should be prompted to us. And well, the password of the username in this case is going to be the payload pat that I used. So yeah, definitely look forward to showing you that in the next part of this vid. So yep, stay tuned.
All right, guys, thank you for being patient. So this is the moment that we all have been waiting for. And right now what we're going to do is do the install of Windows 10 Pro on our machine now. And this is the magic USB that we have provisioned and set up with the unattended file. So this should be an automatic install of Windows 10. And I'm going to show you guys how to actually boot from the USB and not from the operating system that's on the machine already. So let's go ahead and get to it. So let's go ahead and power this off now. Do a full shutdown. Now that that's shut down, we're gonna go ahead and turn it on, but we're gonna go ahead and press, for HP, it's F10. So other, as far as manufacturers have different ways to access the BIOS. So you may need to go ahead and look at some, as far as like a manual or something like that. But this one, I'm from experience, I know it's F10. It may be the escape button, it may be F1. Some of them are even like F12. So it all really depends on your manufacturer. And this is the BIOS. So your BIOS may look a little different. So we're looking for, pretty much they are all the same as far as the basics. So let's navigate to boot options. And what we're looking for is the boot order. So as we see down here, it's a little different with this particular machine. I have to press, so I have to go ahead and go to USB flash drive, and then I have to press F6 to go ahead and move the device up. So as you see there, now the USB flash drive is at the top. So yours may be a little bit different or maybe basic. You may just have to press enter and then select the USB flash drive. Some of them even show the name of the flash drive, which I'm used to, but this one is a little different as we see. But nonetheless, it's now saved here. So let's go ahead and click save and exit here, save changes and exit. So now that that's complete, we can go ahead and it's going to reboot. And now it's going to reboot from our USB and not from our actual hard drive. So let's go ahead and watch the magic happen. All right, so now that that has uploaded, we are going to be presented with installing Windows 10 Pro. And it will be the only option available here, because what happens is the actual system figures out what current operating system you have currently on your PC, and it will indicate, hey, this PC already has a digital license of Windows 10 Pro, as it shows here. So if you have like Windows 10 Home, it's going to show Windows 10 Home on your current, you have to upgrade, purchase a license, and go from there, or find some other methods that I won't really disclose, but you know what I mean. It's available online if you need to get it. So yeah, so let's go ahead, and all I'm going to do is press enter here, and that will go ahead and start our install. So this is what normally would occur. copy Windows files, do the installation. But what actually happens after it does the finishing up is the special part, because that's when you would typically be encountered with putting in all the information. If you want as far as a specific language, a specific type of keyboard, and things of that nature, which we already made as far as with the unattended XML file that we just generated. So that is going to actually read that file and process everything for us. And after it's installed, it will literally bring us up to the login section, and we'll just be entering our password and our username, and just our password, because our username is already going to be presented to us. So it's going to be pretty cool. And I'm going to let it do its thing, and I'll be back shortly. All right, guys, so we have completed the install, and I forgot to mention one thing. What it's going to actually do in this case is it's going to load up and it's going to reboot right back into the installation, because what we have is a ongoing loop. So if this does occur with you, it may or may not happen, but oftentimes it's stuck in a loop because the boot option, the order is still going to be the USB. So the system thinks, okay, I need to boot from the USB. So you continuously get that loop. So if you ever experience that, all you would need to do is go into the turn off your PC. And then turn it back on, but press the button to trigger your BIOS. Go back to your boot order section and then change it back to how it was before. So usually it's like the Windows option there, and it will automatically revert back. But as you see here, it's doing the same thing again. So I just wanted you guys to see it, because I actually forgot. So let's go ahead and power this off now, because I already know what it's going to do. It's just going to go right back to that same thing. So let me turn it on again. Then we're going to press F10. All right, and we're going to navigate back to boot options. And as we see here, it's still set up for the USB flash drive. So we need to go to the OS boot manager. Press F6 to get that above, and we can go ahead and save changes and exit. All right, and look at that. So now we didn't get asked any questions of our custom settings for the out of the box experience. And as you see here, we have Payload Pat. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my password, and look at what we have here. It's going to go ahead and get us set up here for the first initial as far as login. So look at that. So I know it was a lot, but thank you so much for being patient as we went ahead and did the whole entire process. Gave you a real life situation where you can some issues that you may experience along the way. So nonetheless, this is pretty much something that you can repeat time after time. Now that you have created this USB, all you now would need to do is go ahead and load that up with any PC that you get. Change the BIOS, as far as boot order, and load it up, and you're good to go. And you'll be able to go ahead and provision multiple PCs without having to go ahead and drag along through the entire process there. So it may seem like it's long now, but this was because we did one, but every single one after that is literally going to take what, 5 minutes or so to set up, and you'll be pretty much knocking those things out one after the next, one after the next. So this is a beautiful way to use for in production, setups. I know there's other ways, to set these things up, even with like a network load, a network boot option as well. But this is just something that I think is pretty good for for those who are just looking for other options to install, better than the standard and traditional way that you have to put in everything manually. So there we go. So we're set up here, and yeah, we're good to go. So you can go ahead and check this out. Let's do this. This PC. All right. And you can go ahead and check out, well, let's do this. Users, Payload Pat is the only one there. And we can go to about your PC. And as you see here, we don't have a regular product ID, so that's going to be a problem soon enough, but there'll be another video I will show you guys how to take care of that. But as you see here, Windows 10 Pro is fully installed, and yeah, we're good to go. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. If you want to go ahead and like and subscribe, feel free to. If you have any other requests for any other videos, feel free to let me know. So you have a good one and stay blessed.